Jenna, thanks. We're continuing to follow developing news after a federal judge in Florida voided the national mask mandate on airplanes and other forms of public transportation.
This comes less than a week after the CDC announced they were extending it until early next month. Western Mass News reporter Lexi Oliver joins us now live from Bradley International Airport with more. Lexi?
Chris and Jordan, the Justice Department says it will review the judge's decision and decide whether or not to appeal it. While that happens, the mask mandate is no longer in effect, but many local transportation hubs say they're holding off on lifting their mandates.
It's been a crazy couple of years.
Confusion across public transportation hubs Monday as a federal judge struck down the CDC's extension of the national mask mandate for airplanes and other public transportation. The mandate was set to expire Monday, but last week the CDC extended it until May 3rd to allow for more time to study the BA.2 variant of COVID-19, which is causing case numbers to climb in the Northeast. U.S. District Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell arguing the mandate exceeds the statutory authority of the CDC, and the agency failed to justify its decision and did not follow proper rulemaking procedures. One passenger we spoke with at Bradley International Airport tells Western Mass News she's not upset the judge ruled to void the mandate.
I think, people have lived through a couple of years of this, and if they decide that they would rather go without, then that's their choice, and people who really want to wear one will. I think it's got to move in that direction eventually.
But she says she would probably still choose to wear a face covering, especially on a crowded flight. While the Justice Department is reviewing the ruling, a Biden administration official says the TSA will not enforce the mask requirement. A spokesperson for Bradley tells us as of right now, their mask mandate remains in place, saying in part, quote, "We continue to monitor and coordinate closely with our regulatory partners regarding any changes." We also checked in with Union Station in Springfield to see if they'd continue to enforce the mask requirement. A spokesperson there telling us in part, quote, "Once we are confident the potential for appeal has passed and we have had the opportunity to coordinate with our transportation carriers, you will see any changes in the law reflected in our operating procedures at Union Station. At this time, we are choosing to proceed with caution in order to avoid unnecessary confusion for our patrons, passengers, and station tenants." Back at Bradley, others aren't so sure about the judge's ruling. One passenger saying he feels that the government should listen to the health agency.
It's definitely a health precaution, especially because COVID hasn't gone anywhere. I think they should probably keep it in place, especially if the CDC is what it is being recommended.
Delta, United, and Alaska Airlines have all announced that masks are now optional on their aircrafts. But airlines are warning there may be inconsistent enforcement this week as it takes 1 to 2 days to put new procedures in place and employees may be receiving varying information. Live from Bradley International Airport, I'm Lexi Oliver, Western Mass News.
Lexi,